Now that you understand the limitations of GitHub Pages and the purpose of it, let's okay. So this original developer is using a 0.70. This won't run on the web. We're gonna have to upgrade this Flet version, or I should say, it won't run on GitHub Pages because of the way that it's deployed. So we have to change the version of Flet and a bunch of the tools. Also, when you deploy it to GitHub Pages, because we're used Flet all, it's running locally, it won't deploy. So we're gonna have to, in addition, we have to delete some of these packages. So we'll go 8.0.1. I'm going to pin it to this specific dependency. And I'm going to create another error here for optional dependencies so that we can work locally. And we'll create a dev. Will be Flet command line interface, or CLI. And we're going to pin it to the exact same version, 8.0.1. And then for development purposes, we'll also install the Flet desktop. .8.0.1. Okay, that's it for the PyProject.toml. I'll change the name. I'll call it resume showcase. Showcase of Jesse Hasman experience at example for internship interviews. UV sync. And I have an extra 0. I move this into the extra dev so the GitHub doesn't install it. But I want to install it locally for development. So locally, it now has the Flet desktop and the Flet CLI. It won't install it into the production version. We're going to use the GitHub technology, GitHub workflows technology. So I'll set up GitHub. And it's a special directory that the GitHub Actions looks for. And I'll create workflows. And I'll call mine deploy .yaml. So GitHub Actions runs when you push it up to GitHub, and there's a set of commands that you can give it. We'll call ours deploy to GitHub Pages. This will appear in the GitHub Actions tab. On push, where we push up something, then we'll work with the main branch. Permissions, contents will be read, pages will be write. For concurrency, group will be pages. Cancel in progress will be false. Jobs build runs on Ubuntu latest. And here's the steps. We'll first check out the repository. And we're going to install UV. Okay, with UV, we can now set up Python. And we're going to pin it to Python version 3.13. And then we have to install the dependencies, and we're using UV. We'll call it install dependencies. We'll have to build Flutter. Build it with Flutter. So we need the Flutter SDK. If you run it locally, you'll also need the Flutter SDK installed. if you build it on locally on your computer. But if you just push up to GitHub Actions and then run it in the GitHub Actions cloud, you don't need to have Flutter installed on your local computer. And the most recent version of Flutter right now is 3.8.3 on the stable channel. Okay, we now need to build the Flet app on GitHub Actions. So this needs to be the name of your GitHub repository. So I'm going to push mine up to this resume showcase public for the, maybe I'll create a new repository tutorial. So I'm going to create this GitHub repo in the next steps. But you'd have to have it the same as whatever you call it. We have to set up GitHub Pages. So at this point, the application should be built within the GitHub Actions runner, and now we can deploy it. And run on Ubuntu latest. Okay, I pushed this in by one tap. So the deploy should be in line with the build.
Okay, congratulations. You've upgraded from Flet 0.70 to 0.80, also called Flet 1.0 beta. You've also created your GitHub Pages workflow for the GitHub Actions. In the next video, we're going to create the GitHub repository, enable pages, create a requirements.txt for Flet to use inside of PYTH, and then we're going to push it to GitHub. Join our 100% free course to get more lessons, slides, code examples. See you at industry-python.thinkific.com.